start recording. All right, guys, so welcome everybody. So my name is Dayna. I will be one of your hosts this evening. Again, I apologize for my accent for those of you that my accent might be a little strong. If I get to talking too fast, you guys just tell me slow down, slow down. I also have the privilege tonight to be teaching with two Lydias. Like, what are the odds that my name, Dayna, is outnumbered? And when they get on, they're going to tell you a little bit about themselves, their story as well. So as far as me, I am a mother of two. I have a 10-year-old and a 6-year-old. I actually homeschool even before all of this craziness. So I'm kind of used to doing things like this in between their schooling. Right now, they're downstairs schooling. And for me, the company that we're going to talk about tonight is Young Living. And when it came into my life, I was honestly in a destitute situation. So it was about 5 years ago, and I had just started back working as an esthetician. Can you guys see me?
For whatever reason, it's blank, but I thought it was just me.
Nope, somebody else said they can't see me. I don't know what I did. Can you see me now? No?
Not yet.
I don't know. Still can't see me?
I can hear you perfectly, but can't see you at all.
Oh, that's sad. Okay, I'm gonna keep talking. I'm gonna keep talking even though you can't see me, because I think my words are just as powerful too. And hopefully, it might be my internet.
It does say that internet is unstable.
Okay, so hopefully.
It's notice for me. I don't know if anyone else saw that, but I saw that.
Okay, so hopefully it'll get better. Thankfully, I'm not the only one speaking, so you don't have to look at a blank thing the whole time.
You're there now, you're just frozen. So I definitely think it's an internet thing, and as long as we can hear you, I think we could just move forward.
Okay, all right, sorry guys. So all right, I'm going to keep going with my story. So for me, again, when I first was introduced, I had been on bed rest with my son for 5 months. So if anybody knows my industry, if you don't touch people, you don't make money. So for 5 months, I had zero income. I wasn't making any money, nothing. I didn't have a backup plan. I didn't have a savings. I didn't have something stashed away. And my son, when he was born, was very sickly. And so it was medical appointments after medical appointments. It was money we didn't have. So us just further going into debt, trying to figure out what was going on with him medically. He was asthmatic. He had terrible eczema, to the point that even now I look at baby pictures of him where most babies have that beautiful baby skin. His kind of looked more scaly and like a snake. And so as a mother, I was super concerned. And I remember my sister, Tashina, who's also on this call, she kept talking to me about these oils. She invited me to a party that she had. I was super late to the party because I had just started back working at a spa, and I couldn't hear any of the things she was saying because the only thing I was focused on was I'm broke, I have no money, and my son is sick. And you keep talking about these oils, and I couldn't see it. I got a sample of an oil blend called Peace and Calming. And that night, mind you, again, because my son was so uncomfortable. He never slept through the night. And I took that sample of Peace and Calming, I put it in his bath water, and all of a sudden his flashes stopped. I was brushing my teeth, and of course, like, oh my goodness, my son drowned, what happened? And when I turned around and looked at him in the tub, his little head was nodding. So whatever was in this blend relaxed him enough to fall asleep. That was the first night that he slept through the entire night. And for me, that was the first time I had just a fraction of hope, because I had gone to doctor after doctor. I had been putting the creams on. I had been doing all of the things that the doctors were telling me, and yet my son was still sick. And so when I took that sample of Peace and Calming, I kept using that sample and kept using it. For whatever reason, it resonated with my son's body, and it gave him comfort and it gave him peace. And for me, that was my aha moment. That was when I felt like there's something more to these plants. There's something more to these herbs. It's not the same as just the simple thing that maybe we see in the stores. There's a lot of oils that we use and they're fragrant and they smell good, maybe make us feel good, but do they have the medicinal benefits? Do they have the properties to help actually nourish our bodies? For me, I started changing my son's diet. I started changing his environment. I started using the oils. And to this day, many people don't even know that he's asthmatic. They don't even know that he had skin irritations and other issues and problems going on. And so for me, when I saw that as a mother, I knew that this is something that I had to share with other people. I had to help other people understand that there are options. Now, what people do with those options is up to them, but everybody needs to know that there is hope and there's more out there than maybe just what we're used to, what we've seen. So that's a little bit about my story. I'm going to now pass the baton to Lydia E. And she's going to tell us a little bit about her story as we continue on with our discussion this evening.
Hey there, everyone. My name is Lydia Eppic, and I hail from South Florida and living in Memphis, Tennessee. And I'm so glad that you all are here and that you're taking out time to learn more about how you can better your wellness and improve your health. Because like Dayna said, that's what our vision and our mission and our company is all about. So with Young Living and how we got started, it was a matter of being able to find a way for us to keep our home as clean as possible, because we knew and we were starting to learn about the fact that there were so many different toxins and chemicals that were out there. And we wanted to be in a place where we were intentionally choosing what our children were around. We were intentionally choosing what was going on or in their bodies. When it comes to essential oils, just a real quick walkthrough, there's 3 main ways to go about using the oils. You can use them on your skin, and anything that you put on your skin is going to be absorbed into your bloodstream within 30 seconds or less. It's very, very quick. And so you want to, of course, be mindful of what those things are that you're putting on your skin. You can also go about using them aromatically. So when you hear aromatherapy, it is in fact a form of therapy. It's allowing for your brain and your body to be relaxed, or to be energized, or to be grounded, or to be able to just shift in these different ways because of these amazing oils and these amazing fragrances, right? So when we talk about fragrance, the problem with fragrance is that you're not just getting a scent, you're getting a scent with chemicals that are harmful to your bodies. And so when we're talking about an essential oil, it is just straight on what's coming from that plant. So for example, when you're looking at a bottle of lavender, lavender oil is going to be coming from a single, just one species. It's not some sort of crazy blend of things in terms of, I used whatever kinds of lavender, no hybrids. It's actual true lavender that's going to be in this bottle. And it's not going to be with any kind of chemicals or fillers or anything else. So I know that I can use this with confidence on myself, and I can use this with confidence on my children. And in fact, with one of the collections that we're talking about today, it includes lavender. I love to use lavender from an aromatherapy standpoint. It's very calming. This is a great one that we've used with our children. We combine it with cedar wood, and we'll put it in their diffusers at night, and it helps them with resting and sleep. But even earlier today, no more than, goodness, I'd say half an hour ago, 40 minutes ago, I was using some lavender on my son, who is 2.5. He was starting to get a little bit of an eye irritation. And so topically, just being able to use it very gently around the outside of his eye, not actually touching his eye, I could go about using this knowing that it's going to help to, the lavender is going to go in, it's going to talk on a cellular level to the body, and it's going to help that part of the body to start to support itself to become better. So that is one of the two ways. So you've got topical, you've got aromatic, and then for cases of where we are right now, there's a third means that we'll talk about later, and we'll be opening up more so to the African continent in due time. But those are the two main ways that we go about using them. So not only is there lavender, which has great calming properties and is amazing and helpful for the skin, there's also different essential oil infused products that Young Living has. And to me, this is honestly the best part about being connected with Young Living, is that whenever there's a product that's made, it's not a product for profit, it's a product for purpose. So being able to know, for example, when I'm using lip balm, I'm not using something that has all kinds of just junk filler chemical things in it. Okay, yeah, I got it. And all the different things. So with that, I cannot wait to share a little bit more, hear more from our other speaker, who is the lovely Lydia Riley.
Thank you. Hi guys, I am Lydia Riley, and just by way of quick introduction, I encountered the Young Living world from a completely unique and different position. I married the former chief sales officer of Young Living, and so I was already, what's interesting is that I was already really sold on having a more natural lifestyle. Just anytime throughout my life, as long as I can remember, anytime a medication has been, has been recommended for me, I feel personally, and I'm not telling anybody to stop medications or not take medications, but I've always felt like the side effects have been bigger than the actual problem that I was dealing with. And I come from a very holistic house. My mom has been using natural remedies, herbs, everything for as long as I can remember. But the reason why I am so excited about the Young Living opportunity is because of what I saw during my time as a Young Living guest or family member. When my husband was the chief of sales, I had the tremendous opportunity to travel all around the world, because Young Living is a global company. There are rallies, there are incentive trips, there are conferences, there are every incentive reward trips like you cannot imagine. And I got to go on the company dime for nothing, with nothing to do with the company. And during that time, what I got to experience was that I kept on meeting these incredibly successful families. I mean, and above that, I will say women. I really don't know of an industry that has more opportunity for women and for families. And so, by that, I mean that I was so inspired, and I was meeting people that really were earning more money in 1 month than I had ever earned in an entire year. And even to the point of like multiple times over and over again. And so, I knew when my husband left, he left the company for a different role. I knew that this was something that I had to do, that it aligned perfectly with my, just my personal beliefs in using plant medicine, in being more natural and holistic in my life, and being healthier in my life. And it just made perfect sense to turn that into a financial opportunity as well, which we certainly will go into. But I'll say that I have been blogging for years, and so I am more on the influencer side, and I understand that not everybody is, you know, into that whole influencer world, but we are all on social media. So more than anything, this opportunity is enormous because of the reach that we each individually can have. You don't need a massive audience to be able to share, you know, to share what you know, to share what you love. And, you know, we each individually and collectively can help train and create that, you know, kind of step-by-step process. But for me, if I'm being completely honest, that is why I enrolled. That's why I got a kit. I love the products and I know what the financial opportunity looks like. I've seen it firsthand. And so that's, you know, my main thing that I'm excited to kind of help. I'm excited to help people gain exposure to that opportunity and to run alongside you as far as you want to take it. And I know for me personally, you know, I know Dayna and Lydia, we want to take it to the top. We're in this for the win. And we're here to help anybody else who has kind of that mindset as well. And so with that, I think we're going to start going through the kit. It's the self-care kit, right, Dayna?
Yes. Yeah. So I'm gonna. Oh, it keeps saying internet. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you just fine. You're just frozen, but we can hear you just fine.
Okay. So I'm gonna start from a place. I want you guys to know just a little bit about Young Living as a company, because what is so powerful. Young Living is because there is such extensive measures into making sure that the products are pure, the results that you're going to get are going to be unlike anything else you will ever see. So I want to start with their seed to seal process and their promise to each and every one of us in our homes. And that seed to sale process starts with, and if you are a farmer or if you have land and you plant a lot, you will already know how important it is to have quality soil, right? So there's so much things that if we want to grow a garden or if we want to grow certain things, that if the soil is not right, we're not going to yield our crops the way we want to, right? So what Young Living does is they are all about that seed and they are about that soil. So where they plant their farms, where they have their different areas and things like that, is they're going to make sure that it's completely pure, that it doesn't have pesticides, herbicides, or anything that could be harmful to us or our body. They actually have a beautiful farm in South Africa, and there is where they yield their orange oil. They get the eucalyptus there. So there's many things that when you are purchasing like Young Living, you know that you're getting native plants, you're getting native pure things. The next step in their beautiful process after seed is their testing. So this is super, super important as well. Many companies out there, when it comes to oils and it comes to fragrance, they do what's going to be cheapest because it still smells good, but it does not have the medicinal benefits and properties. So not only do they spend a lot of money on making sure that there's in-house testing, but they also pay for third-party testing to make sure, again, that what you're getting is pure. Here in the US, there are many medical professionals that actually incorporate and use the essential oils because of the power behind them and what they can do, not only for their patients, but in their own homes, what it can do in the body, things that medicine really has not been able to have the power to do. So that's important to understand. And then their distillation process is super important too. So how they get that oil from the plant into the little bottles. That's going to be powerful too, because a lot of times if you heat something up too much, you know that it loses its nutrient benefits and properties. And so Young Living is very, they're very cautious about making sure that they're getting the best of the best when it comes to our oils. And then that takes us to the last process of that, and that's the seal. So you'll notice on each bottle, there's actually a coded number and a seal. So you don't get your oils from Amazon, you don't get it online, you're going to get it directly from Young Living, right? So you're going to get it directly from the source. And so when you think about that, the power behind what you're getting, it's unmatched. There's nothing like it on the planet. Young Living as a company has been around for over 25 years. And so that's what we want to present to you guys today. So with that, we're going to go into a few specific a few specific products and their properties and how they're beneficial. So I believe we were starting with lavender, right? And lip balm.
Hey, Dayna, you're back. We see you. Awesome. All right. So with lavender and lavender lip balm, both of these from a self-care standpoint have some amazing properties. So as I'd already shared earlier about lavender and how lavender is one of those plants, like Dayna was mentioning, that it's very easy for people to say, oh, well, I have lavender and I'm just simply growing it. There's different hybrids that are out there. There's all sorts of other kind of harmful means, a lot of adulteration that happens with lavender in particular. So knowing that with Young Living, you're getting the highest quality of lavender, knowing that it's been treated well, that it's been grown organically without any kind of pesticides or herbicides, is again really, really comforting to know that that's something I can bring into our home. So from a self-care standpoint, lavender is again phenomenal, not only for the skin, it is great from an aromatherapy standpoint. So you can do something as simple as taking a drop of lavender, placing it in the hand, and then doming it over your nose and your mouth, and just breathing it in with deep breaths. And that's a way to just invite calm and invite stillness into a moment that may feel really frenzied or hectic. It's also a great one from a aromatherapy standpoint and a topical standpoint to just put a drop on your wrist to rub that in, and the same way that you would with perfume or behind the ears. And again, just helping to promote that calmness and that just release. So if there's a place of just feeling anxious or feeling stressed, lavender is a phenomenal one to use. And then right along with it, in terms of any of those products that are lavender infused, one of my favorites actually is the lavender lip balm, and that comes in this self-care collection. So what I really love about it, and it's the fact that when I'm reading off the ingredients that are in here, these are all clean ingredients. There's no junk, there's no just random fillers in here. So we're looking at coconut oil and beeswax, jojoba oil, sweet almond. We're looking at wolfberry seed oil. So wolfberry has some really fun anti-aging properties to it, as well as rose hip. And we're looking at vitamin E and lavender. So I know that it's going to be soothing for my lips. I know that it's going to be soothing for my skin. If you have little ones and you're wanting to help them to also be a part of the this wellness journey with you, I say start them while they're young. It's a great way to encourage them and finding ways to do things more naturally for their emotions. This is one that you can actually use and rub on their skin, and it's a way to act as what's called a carrier oil. So it's a way to act as a diluting surface or a diffusing surface on their skin. So if you're wanting to use something like lavender, but you're not sure if they're too young to use it, this is a great way to be able to just apply that on, mix it in your fingers or on your hands, and then just apply it again to their wrists, or simply just place it in the diffuser in their room. It's a really, really great way to introduce that to their space.
All right.
Okay, awesome.
So back to me with tea tree.
Yes.
So tea tree is another oil that comes in that kit. And so I love in the comments, we had a few people actually ask about what to do for skin. So as a licensed esthetician, that's what I do. I do skin analysis and skin care. Tea tree is like gonna be your best friend. Like, this is amazing for support when it comes to skin. Now, the only thing I will say though is a little goes a long way. So you do not need more than like a drop when you put this on your skin. So you can just simply get you a drop, put it in your hands, and then put it all over your face. And that's gonna help tremendously with that. I also love it in my hair. So I'm a big DIY person. Like, I make my own hair care products and things like that. And tea tree and lavender are two that I use often when it comes. Oh, can you guys see me? Am I frozen? Okay. So I was saying, I love tea tree and lavender in my hair care products as well as my skin. And so they're going to be an excellent addition to your home because they're so versatile. I also love really using tea tree. Let's say my kids are out playing and maybe they scrape their knee or they hit something. This is an excellent one to also put on that to help with that healing process as well. So what you'll find with the oils is they're super, super versatile. So because they're so versatile, you actually are going to find so many different uses and benefits with each and every one of them. So that's all I got with tea tree. We'll turn back to Lydia Riley.
Okay, and I'm going to talk about a normal, regular household in product. It is the charcoal bar soap that comes in the kit that we're discussing. How many of us use soap? I hope everybody uses some soap. I think this is an important conversation to start out by saying, okay, most of our soaps, unless we've gone completely natural, are going to be like a bright blue or green color, right? That means they contain some dyes, and they're going to be heavily fragranced. They have a very familiar smell, which is how manufacturers make them, so that we think, oh, smells super, super clean, okay? But I think we have to know that those products come at a major, major cost. There are so many ingredients in regular household soap that are, quite frankly, toxic to our bodies. And I could talk, I'm gonna mention a few of them. To be honest, some of them are just difficult to pronounce, and my general rule of thumb is if I don't know what it is, I don't put it on my body. But this is really important because anything that touches our skin is absorbed into our bloodstream, and it is circulating throughout our body within seconds of applying it to our skin. So that is why we need a really, really clean soap that is free of dyes, that is free of phthalates, that's free of parabens. And what those do, among other things, and like I said, there's a list of other ingredients that are commonly found in soaps. They fall under two categories. They're going to be endocrine disruptors, and what endocrine disruptors mean is that they mess with your hormones. And our hormones do everything. Our hormones control how we sleep, when we're hungry, how our cells divide. Our whole body really revolves around normal, healthy hormone function. And so really, this is about getting rid of the things that are not great for our body and putting completely natural products in there, and replacing them with really natural products. So, and I was going to talk about fragrance as well. Here in the US and several other countries, there is a fragrance loophole. So whenever you see the word fragrance, this is code for thousands of chemicals that don't need to be disclosed. So I'm not saying that they're full of thousands of chemicals that are all bad for you, all going to cause cancer, all going to ruin your hormones. I'm just saying the fact that they don't have to disclose what chemicals are in under a fragrance label is a very, very disturbing thing. It should bother all of us if we don't know what it is that they have, because like I said, those products are getting absorbed into our bloodstream and impacting our health. So what is in the charcoal bar soap? It is named for the active ingredient, activated charcoal. I actually use activated charcoal just as a singular ingredient. And what it does is that it absorbs toxins. So they have activated charcoal for use at in emergency rooms and at hospitals for people that have ingested any kind of toxins or poisons. Activated charcoal absorbs those toxins and binds to them so that they can pass through. I also use activated charcoal topically. It's phenomenal for pulling those toxins out of the largest organ on our body, which is our skin. So I apply activated charcoal masks as well. So with this soap, it is a face and body soap. I've been using it for the last 2 months. I freaking love this soap. I'm kind of a active, sweaty kind of person all the time. I'm always either in my garden or I'm very athletic. And so I need a good soap. And this soap is perfect for the fact, if you could see it, it's actually black. It's black like charcoal, like activated charcoal. And it pulls those toxins right out and leaves your skin incredibly clean. I'm a big fan, if you can't tell. I'm a huge fan of this soap. And then the next product, I'm talking about the next product, right? Okay, is the Thieves Whitening Toothpaste. Now, why is it important to have a natural toothpaste? We've already kind of covered it, guys. The gums, our mouths are incredibly absorbent, and everything that we put into our mouth is, again, absorbed into our entire bloodstream. So our toothpastes that are blue and green and every color under the sun, those are harmful dyes, again, that are carcinogenic, meaning that they have known carcinogens in them, and that they are heavily fragranced. Oftentimes they have sweeteners in our toothpaste, guys, synthetic sweeteners. That's really bad for your teeth. And we're brushing our teeth with something that's really bad for our teeth. I had just a little write-up here on toothpastes. Like I said, your mouth is highly absorbent. So many chemicals are lurking in toothpaste. Some of those, triclosan, SLS, artificial sweeteners, fluoride can actually be toxic to our system. Another one called DEA, they're examples of some of the toxins. And again, that doesn't even cover the entire list. So I really, really recommend for many years, I made my own toothpaste, but then Young Living came out with one, and it's completely non-toxic and includes Thieves and lemon essential oil in it. It really, really works. It is incredibly whitening, and I'm freaking obsessed with this. Young Living also has a mouthwash that it's not in this kit, but I love pairing the two of those together. I believe that's it.
All right, guys. So those are just a few of the Young Living products that really represent full wellness. So what we believe is when we start with helping people when it comes to their health and wellness and people seeing results, what is going to happen is you naturally want to share this with other people, right? When you start seeing changes in your own life, you feeling better, you're mentally healthier, physically healthier, you're going to have more to give back to other people. And so that really brings us also full circle into the financial opportunity that Young Living allots. I think that it's also super powerful to understand that, as you guys can see, the three of us are here in the US, but we're not even near each other, right? So all three of us are on completely different time zones. In addition to now we're speaking with you guys there in Africa, right? But because of the power of Young Living and because of the power of what this business can do, don't limit yourself, right? So sometimes we get so wrapped up in thinking, oh, well, my neighbor isn't interested in healthy things, or my neighbor wouldn't think about these things. Well, with a platform like this, you really have the entire world at your disposal, right? It's not necessarily about always who you know, but maybe who do they know that this could help and this could bless. And so I think it's important that as we wrap this up and then we go into the question and answer portion, for you to honestly assess and think about, is what you're doing right now getting you the results that you want? If not, it might be time to add or do something different. I think if nothing more, what this situation has shown us is that we can't always just rely on the government to support us. We can't always even rely on our own employment, because a lot of people, even including here, they're suffering. They're suffering because, unfortunately, they can't go to work right now, right? And they don't have any means else financially coming in. With something like Young Living, this not only empowers you with your health, but it also empowers you for financial opportunities in which you could share with other people. So that's all I have, but I want to open this up now for some Q&A. And I want everybody to have the opportunity to go ahead and express anything that maybe wasn't covered. And so let's go ahead and do that. Does anybody have any questions for us?